Welcome to Amy Learns to Cook. On the show today, we are going to make a dairy-free fettuccine Alfredo. This dish is great for those that are trying to avoid dairy or if you're allergic. So join me as we make a dairy-free fettuccine Alfredo. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we have a stock pot full of water, and I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in there. I'm also going to put a little bit of salt. You want your water to be really salty because this is the only opportunity you have to season your pasta. I put a little olive oil in there just to keep the pasta from sticking together. And in this saute pan, we have a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to put some mushrooms that I've washed and chopped. We're going to put those in here, and we're just going to saute them until they're a little bit soft. So next we're going to put in a couple cloves of garlic. And this garlic I really finely chopped because you don't want big, huge pieces of garlic in your fettuccine. So we're just going to saute this for about a minute. Okay, so now that the garlic is softened up a little bit, we're going to take it out and we are just going to put it into a bowl. We don't want to overcook the mushrooms, so we're going to make our sauce with the mushrooms removed. Okay, so we're going to take about 6 tablespoons of butter. Now you can use any non-dairy butter that you like. I have one that I particularly like. My milk allergy is a little strange because I can actually eat butter. I'm allergic to milk protein, and there is very little milk protein in butter. So I can actually use regular butter, but definitely use, there's a bunch of them out there, non-dairy butters. So we're just going to let this melt. And then we're going to take some almond milk, and what I have is the unsweetened. Make sure you get unsweetened almond milk, otherwise it's going to put the flavor off a little bit. And we want about 1.5 cups of this unsweetened almond milk. And then, so our sauce will thicken up, we are going to take 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and we are going to mix that up into our almond milk here. And you actually might need a fork to get this mixed up right. So we just want to mix it until all the cornstarch is dissolved in this almond milk. Okay, so now our butter is melted, and we're going to go ahead and put our almond milk and cornstarch mixture into our saute pan. And this is going to be our sauce. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to let this thicken up. And then we're going to put our non-dairy cheese in here. Okay, so now our sauce is starting to thicken up. We're going to take about 1 pound of fettuccine, and we're going to go ahead and put it into our boiling water here, just so our pasta is going to be finished when our sauce is finished. Okay, so we are going to use this Daiya, I think that's how you pronounce it, it's D-A-I-Y-A, mozzarella shredded cheese. And this stuff actually melts, right? It takes a little bit to get it to melt, but it will melt. So we're going to go ahead and put this whole package into our sauce here. And we're just going to go ahead and stir this in. It's going to take a little bit for it to melt. You'll see that the shreds will sort of hang on as shreds for a little bit, but it will eventually melt. Okay, so our cheese is all melted, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a little secret ingredient in there. And I've tested this recipe a couple times, and it just really was missing something. And one of my good friends on Facebook gave me a suggestion and it worked out fantastic. My friend Ali Rafi, who was the winner of our turkey naming contest, suggested that I add a little bit of English mustard. And actually putting a little bit of mustard actually really gave it the savoriness and gave it sort of the body that I was looking for, that it was missing. So thank you very much for that suggestion. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any, so I just got my old standby Grey Poupon, right? And we're just going to put a couple tablespoons of this in there. And we're going to go ahead and stir it around. And it actually gives it a really good flavor that it just seemed to be missing when I made this a couple times when I was testing recipes. So now that that is in there, we're going to go ahead and add back in our mushrooms. Wow, this is looking really good. It's nice and creamy, and it's almost like you're not going to miss the cheese, right? Wow. And our pasta's coming along here. It has a few more minutes. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put a little salt and pepper in this. If you are worried about the black specks, you can go ahead and use a little bit of white pepper. I don't mind that. We're going to put a little bit of salt and then we're going to taste it. This is actually a kosher salt that I have in my salt grinder, and it has really big flakes and it tends to not taste as salty as your regular like table salt, the iodized kind, so you tend to have to use a little bit more of it. Wow, that is looking so creamy and luxurious, right? So let's go ahead and take a little sample. Wow. It is really good. I'm going to add a little bit more salt. Need quite a bit in there. I'm going to go ahead and stir it around. And this sauce is just, it's creamy, it's luxurious. It's just like if you had cheese for all us non-cheese eaters, right? It is fabulous. I'm going to tell you, the little bit of mustard just really takes it over the top. Thanks very much, Ali, because this is like, it just made this recipe dynamite. So as soon as our pasta's done, we're going to go ahead and combine these two, and then we're going to take a taste. So our pasta is ready, and I'm going to go ahead and move it over here. And we have a pasta bowl here that's really large. You probably could hold double what I'm making, but that's okay. And we're going to go ahead and remove our pasta. You can drain it if you have a strainer. I have a strainer on this, but I don't use it that often because it's just as easy for me to use some tongs, right? Woo. And you can have a little bit of the pasta water in there to probably bring in a little starch and thicken your sauce up a little bit more. Wow, the pasta looks really good. Okay, so now we're going to put our sauce in here, and it looks very creamy and cheesy, right? We're going to go ahead and dump that in. Wow, that looks so good. You would never even know that we don't even have any real cheese in this. It's so creamy and delicious looking. We're going to go ahead and give it a toss in our pasta. It's a very, very thick sauce. So go ahead and toss it around a little bit. Get all those noodles coated. Wow. It looks beautiful. So we're just going to put on a little bit of parsley on the top to give it a little bit of color. Wow, it looks really good. So let's plate some up. Okay, so let's plate this up. It looks incredible. It really does look incredible. It looks cheesy. It looks gooey. And there is no cheese in this. Wow. Okay. I'm certainly ready to taste it. Get a little bit of the mushrooms and a lot of the fettuccine, right? If I can get it all on my fork. It is really good. It's creamy. The mushrooms are great. The mustard really helps give it a little bit of savoriness to it that it's lacking without real cheese. Wow. This will definitely please all your non-dairy eating, vegetarian, vegan, or anybody that's just watching their dairy intake. It is absolutely fabulous. If you like this recipe, please subscribe below and visit my website at AmyLearnsToCook.com. I'm also on Twitter and Pinterest at AmyLearnsToCook. Hi, this is Amy, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the subscribe button and join us as we take this journey to become better cooks. Don't forget to leave a comment and let us know what you'd like us to cook. Again, thanks for watching.